Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode, another stream by Crypto Warehouse. Let me turn this down a bit. There we go. Okay, we are back again. We have only just finished our daily stream and we are back to cover a new project called LoveChain. What we are going to do in this stream is we're going to cover off how you can participate in the startup that's on GateIO, which is here, and we are going to go through in a minute. Then what we're going to do on the right hand side, you will see all the usual suspects from a deep dive review. We are going to go through their website, we're going to go through CoinMarketCap, have a look as much as we can through the white paper. We're going to go through the contract, have a look at that. We're going to look at Dex Tools, the socials, the Q&A, and the conclusion, which will involve talking through the startup info again. Now, if you are new to Crypto Warehouse, please give us a follow. If you are new to GateIO or you are new to this type of stream, there is a link in the description that will take you to GateIO. From there, you'll be able to join and take part in not just this startup, but all the startups that are done on GateIO. And it is one of our preferred streaming partners. We stream on GateIO at least 5 times a week. They have been very good to us. They are very good to their community. They are very active in their community. They're always doing giveaways. And the startup mining, and the pre-mint that we covered on a stream 2 days ago, they are all ways for you to basically get crypto for free. And who doesn't want that? Now, a few good, I keep saying good mornings, a few good afternoons to Mags, to Chris, to Velvet Rope, to Hidden Agendas. A few of you in chat have come back. Thank you for joining me. I haven't managed to update an awful lot. But before we get into the website, it's important to go through the startup section on here and understand what is going on. So if you join GateIO via the link that we have provided you with, you will be able to find a section on here when it loads called the token launch and airdrop section. You have startup mining, and startup tasks. We've covered all of this before, so we're not going to go over too much of it. But if you scroll down, you will see all of the projects in progress. CEC, LCI, which is LoveChain. We're going to look at that right now. You've then got the HAQQ. You have Gigs, you have Supra, and Buy-in. All of these projects are coming soon. Some of them have less than a day away. Some of them are 21 days away, 4 days away. In the case of LoveChain, this project, the startup element of this project will be going live in just under 4 days' time from now. So where are we today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, you will actually be able to go in and take part in it. Now, this is the initial breakdown of the information that we have. Of course, as always on Crypto Warehouse, we're going to go and have a look at everything ourselves anyway, because that's what we do when you do your own research. Now, on the left-hand side, there is some information I need to read out before we go through the actual airdrop itself, and that is the risk warning. The startup project is still in its initial stage. Factors including the operation and underlying tech of the project and other related regulatory activities might contribute to significant risks. Advanced technical and financial knowledge is required to understand and evaluate the inherent risks of crypto asset investment. The volatility of the market is high, and the price of the token might fluctuate drastically due to technical, regulatory and marketing factors. And finally, users may not be able to withdraw all the purchased tokens due to technical issues of the project on GateIO. Now, we have all of the information about this airdrop on their own social account. We can go and have a look at that. But for those of you that have just joined us, this is a LoveChain review. What you need to hold to claim this token is you need to hold the GT token. Now that price is currently, as far as I'm aware, around about $7, $6 a token. So you need to hold $60 or $70 in GT to be guaranteed an airdrop. You can, of course, join this airdrop and you can enter the lucky dip, and you don't require $70 in GT tokens. You can enter the prize draw, and you've probably got a good 1 in 5, 1 in 10 chance of winning it anyway. So this startup and the announcement of this was announced on the 29th of August, which is about a week ago. LoveChain is a blockchain-based dating app offering LCI token payments, NFT purchases with rewards, staking, and mining features. So this is a love app. I'm not going to try and say Mr. Van's name. Mr. Van is the CEO of LoveChain and has over 10 years of experience in blockchain and IT. With an MBA and expertise in enterprise solutions, he leads LoveChain in integrating blockchain for secure, innovative dating experiences. As I said, this will all be in the white paper, but I'm going to read you through it anyway. Now, the startup, the supply will be 800,000 LCI distributed amongst those who are claiming. LoveChain is a blockchain-based dating app. We've read that one out. Tokenomics, we've read that out as well. Again, that will be in the white paper. We're going to read that out. The token allocation, again, should be in the white paper, but we'll go through it anyway. The advisor gets 5%, sale 10%, the team gets 22%. It is reserved, 5% is reserved, 30% love to earn, and 28% for the marketing and ecosystem. So I wouldn't say that was too bad in terms of an overall beginning to this. The issue I have is when tokens have more than 40 or 50% allocated to the team and the advisors. In this case, it's 22% for the team and 5% for the advisor. What's that, 27%? So it's only a quarter of all the tokens are going to the early VCs and the team. That really isn't too bad. 30% going into Love to Earn, again, is solid. And the ecosystem and marketing getting 28%. It's good to see when a project has a large sum allocated to it. So what would happen is on here, you would get your bottom bar. If you're on a mobile phone, it looks slightly different, but very similar. You've got your VIP level there. You've got your lucky draw based on shares. At some point in the next few days, I am likely to get to 10 GT tokens. I think I've got 3 or 4, so I'm going to top that up to get to 10. So I'm not entered into the lucky draw. I am guaranteed. Again, notify me for airdrops. If you click that, you will get this message. You download the app, you open the menu, you go to setting, push setting, and turn on notifications. That's all you have to do. So they don't send this out via email. You have to have it on your app, and that's pretty straightforward as well. So that's pretty much it from this page. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through the website. If you look on the menu there, the website, we're going to look at CoinMarketCap, the white paper, contract, DEX tools, socials, the Q&A, and then the conclusion. What do I think of the project? Now, if at any point during the stream you have a question, ask away in chat. There's a few people here now. I think there's currently about 37 or 38 people in chat. So ask away. And if you are new here, please smash the like button and give us a follow. Chris is in there doing the cheerleading. Thank you very much, Chris. Right then, so this website, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a background. Before I got into crypto, my previous career was I ran a dating app. I ran a dating app from 2001 all the way through to 2018. So I ran a white label dating solution for 17 years with my business partner at the time. I think at one point we had about 15 or 16 members of staff. So this is pretty much up my street, as far up my street as you could get. So there's a few elements to LoveChain. You've got the token, but you also have got the NFT side of things. So you have membership and services. That comes into LoveChain. You can then have the men and the women, and then you can mint your NFT at the bottom down there. Very pretty. And then you have your different cards and your different ratings. You've got Sweetheart, Cool Mate, Charming, and Bursting. So you have your different cards based on your NFT. Minting and staking your super likes. And then at the bottom, you've got all of their socials. You've got the Telegram group. in 2 different languages. You've got their X account, you've got the audit, and you've got the download. One thing I haven't included in the in the menu is the audit. We will be having a look at that. So as you can see, the website is very straightforward. As you would expect, this is an app. So you're not going to get, excuse me, you're not going to get access to this from the website. You're going to have to download and install it. And there is the app download there, which takes you to the Google App Store, which is here. LoveChain, find global friends, over 5,000 downloads so far. A very healthy 4.7 stars on there with some screenshots of how it works on the inside, a little bit about it. Data safety, mainly positive reviews, which is good to see. And we will not be reviewing the app on this stream because I have no idea how I am going to bring it up or even talk about it. So what we're going to do now, let's get into the white paper. We've got plenty of time. We have an hour to do this. And in that hour, we're going to take you through as much as we can of the project and the white paper and everything else that we can. And again, it's not the usual type of review that we do. We are normally reviewing layer 2s. We're normally reviewing dApps. In this instance, this is the first time I think I've reviewed a dating app. There is another one out there that I reviewed about 6 or 12 months ago, but this is the first one we've reviewed in a long time. So the LoveChain platform aims to build and provide various service platforms, including the dating platform LoveChain, with the goal of love to earn mining in all daily life. Very exciting. So the proliferation of smartphones enables meeting new people through not only web pages, but also mobile apps. So this is its case. This is the case it's putting forward on why you should be using LoveChain. Due to the influence of Corona-19, the penetration rate of smart devices is increasing due to the non-face-to-face culture we are now in, and the scope of the dating service is expanding from offline to online. Online dating is developing into a new market called social dating or blind date applications. Unlike the existing blind date, which was conducted through the introduction of others, it has the feature of being able to be introduced to a variety of opponents easily through the app itself. So it has recently been spotlighted by the MZ generation. Corona-19 is influencing politics, economy, society, culture, as well as love and love methods, which is attracting attention from various academic circles. Now, we're not going to read all of this out. That's not the purpose. We're going to go down here. Accordingly, LoveChain intends to build an objective and transparent dating app using blockchains, build a safe and reliable next-gen dating app environment for verified users, and improve the problems of the existing dating app market. The LoveChain project, which will open a new paradigm in the dating app market, for which there is currently no user protection policy, provides various services according to the direction and trend of blockchain development, builds an ecosystem for users participating in the ecosystem, and we plan to make it possible to receive various services and benefits using LCI tokens, which is a token that we're going to look at later, which are used to participate in the ecosystem and services. So that's its business case, which is basically due to what happened in 2019. The majority of people no longer meet in person, they meet online, and that is where this project is starting to try and help people, I suppose, for want of a better word. So that's the case that it's put forward. Now it's looking at the market. So obviously based on 2019, the dating app market grew 15% year on year to $3 billion last year in terms of user spend. In dating apps, users spending is a very important indicator because users delete the app after meeting. It was found that users of dating app used service fees to utilize additional features. The place with the highest number of users was Tinder, a US match group that acquired HyperConnect, a domestic startup, for 1.9 trillion won and ranked 5th in Korea and 8th in China. It is active in the top 10 app usage rankings. It was followed by the New York Stock Exchange listed Bumble, which emerged as a dating app independently created by Tinder co-founder Whitney Wolfe in 2014. Through this listing on the New York Stock Exchange, Whitney became an issue as he became a wealthy man with a stock value of 1.7 trillion won. So this is the breakdown of the market in different parts of the world. So in America, Tinder is obviously number one, Bumble is number two, and then on there, the ones that I recognize, Match.com, Zeus, they've been around for a very long time. South Korea is a different market. Tinder comes in fifth place over there. In China, it's coming in 8th place. And worldwide, Tinder is number one. But you can see South Korea and China, they have different apps in number one, number two, and number three place, as obviously different people, different cultures have different ways of interacting. So it's a good job of breaking down the worldwide market. I remember back in my day, Match.com was number one, and you had a few others that were knocking around, which were in the top 10. Plenty of Fish is still there, but there's one that's missing, and I don't know where it's gone. Or maybe will be mentioned further on in the list. So 83 billion won was spent on dating apps, and Whippy was the most used app in Korea, followed by Glam, Simkung, and Noondate. As for the average monthly number of users, Tinder, Badoo, and Bumble ranked first to third in the global rankings. When users asked, give me 1 second, get rid of that pop-up. There we go. The most common reason that they did not have to ask around was because they could choose a variety of people to introduce themselves to. The reason for using it was stated. As for user gender, males are 84.7% of the app. Wow, 15% are female, that is probably about right, which was significantly higher than males compared to females. So again, I think this is pretty much true. I think the reason, very simply, is it is harder for a man to find a woman than it is for a woman to find a man. Very simple. Soft Blind Date and Love Letter Blind Date appeared, and the applications with the highest percentage of female users were Diamond Match, which can be used only when a profile and ability are verified, Christian Dating, which can be used only when a Christian is verified, and Sky People. The age of using dating apps is over 70% in their 20s and 30s, and the preferred dating apps by generation are also voice-based Blind Date, Listen, and Tinder in their 20s. Gold Spoon, Sky People, I have never heard of voice-based chat, so there you go. So anyway, we don't need to read any more, I think, about the background of that. Let's move on and have a look at Love Chain, which is why we're really here. That is just repeating what we've read. Let's look at the technology then. The Love Chain network is built on BEP, on the smart chain. In a situation where various chains such as Ethereum and BSC are emerging depending on the blockchain ecosystem, the Love Chain protocol has different values and limitations in the decentralized system. So of course, personally, if you were going to launch a dating blockchain or a dating app on a blockchain, ideally you want to be using either a layer 2 on Ethereum, or you want to be using one of the cheaper blockchains such as the BSC or such as Solana, for example. Why? Because if the information is going back and forth onto the blockchain and you're using the likes of Ethereum, then you're paying $1, $5, $10, $15 a time. It's going to cost you a fortune. Solana, BSC, very cheap blockchains. Even some of the gaming layer 2 blockchains are incredibly cheap to use. So they've made the right decision in using BSC. And again, this doesn't have to be limited to using the smart chain. They could go and use anything in the future and it wouldn't be a problem. So this blockchain is capable of using smart contracts, which we know about, high throughput, which we've just been talking about. It was developed to compensate for this, launched to provide a high-speed, low-cost alternative to the fast-growing DeFi market, struggling with Ethereum's high transaction fees. And that's pretty much how the smart chain came about. It is EVM compatible, but I don't see any need to move to that blockchain at any point in the future. I mean, The BSC chain, the Solana chain, things like that, they're already large enough and they've got enough users to not need to be connected in too much depth to the EVM. As far as I'm concerned, the way I imagine this is going to work is that you have your MetaMask connected to the BEP20 and you will interact with the app directly on your mobile phone. That is how I imagine it is going to work, and that makes perfect sense. You don't want to be using anything that is overly complicated. You don't want to be doing anything too clever. What I would like to see, however, is a web-based app. I said the same thing about Telegram in one of my streams recently. I think Telegram to grow and Toncoin to grow, it needs web-based DeFi. I think if this app is to work, I know the majority of people are using mobile phones these days, but there is no harm and no real extra cost in building a web front end, especially if you want to see high-res pictures of the people that you're talking to. But anyway, we shall move on. Due to the inherent limitations of the blockchain system, LoveChain improved the existing inflexible transaction environment and developed as a blockchain that runs in parallel with this chain, improving the smart contract function and compatibility with the EVM. It is not a typical layer 2 or off-chain scaling solution, but an independent blockchain that can work offline. Interesting. Not quite sure how the blockchain can work offline. The platform does not have a central center to manage information and distributes and shares the ecosystem participation records of all participants in the blockchain network. And the data based on the blockchain is difficult to forge or falsify through hacking. The contents of the recorded blockchain data are converted by a hash function and stored in encrypted form and can be checked immediately. And since the data is managed in a hash tree structure, it is built with a structure that identifies which content is changed at which location. Now, that sounds interesting. So they are encrypting the data that is stored on the blockchain. Fine. The platform is based on proof of staked authority. The protocol essentially stakes a certain number of tokens for network validators to participate, and validators are rewarded with the fees they earn for every verified transaction. The dual parallel chain system allows users to quickly transfer on smart chain while using the smart contract feature within the same interface. Very interesting, but let me have a look at this diagram. The features provided by the protocol of the LoveChain platform are as follows. It achieves around 3-second block time through proof of stake consensus. To be more precise, using proof of staked authority, participants can stake to become validators if they present a valid block. They will be paid a transaction fee included in the transaction, and cross-chain compatible. LoveChain is independent of existing blockchains and is composed of a system to complement it. A dual chain structure is used, allowing users to freely transfer assets between each blockchain. This will allow you to build and utilize powerful decentralized apps on Lo-Fi's smart chain while using fast trading features on the LoveChain. This interoperability allows users to experience a broad ecosystem with numerous use cases. Okay, right. So it's like a side chain. It's not connected. Here we go. So this is the platform. The main network, off-chain, chain node, full node, the wallet, which we've just been talking about, where you swap and trade it and have your asset management, the data, privacy policy, infrastructure, main network, which has got the database of NFTs and infrastructure, KYC, and that goes back and forth connecting to the exchange and the user, and the API management, developer portal, and API gateway are down there. So here we get down to the nitty-gritty of how this is going to work. It's a project to build a next-generation blind date app ecosystem, which was developed with the goal of establishing a transparent and stable environment. Depending on the progress, you can receive rewards. It's also possible to participate in the ecosystem by using the blind date service through Lo-Fi's dedicated platform. Okay, interesting. Interesting, but I'm not going to read everything out. That is not why we're here. So it has its app. Through the mobile application that supports Android and iOS, it's possible to participate in the ecosystem in the process of performing missions prepared by LoveChain, such as blind dates function as well as attendance check. By providing an objective and transparent ecosystem using blockchain, we aim to solve the problems of fake accounts and unauthorized users, which are problems. I totally agree with that. Now, this is where it gets a little bit sexier. The LoveChain NFT. Users participating in the LoveChain platform ecosystem can use the service by using NFTs to utilize the blind date service. NFT rewards can be purchased with LCI tokens. We're going to look at the token, by the way, in a minute. We're going to look at the coin market cap. We're going to look at the contract itself. Then we're going to look at DEX tools, and then we're going to go over and have a look at their socials as well. So we are going to do everything. The white paper is probably the most important element of the project, however, so that's why we spend so long on things like the tokenomics and the white paper, because if you don't understand the project, if you don't understand what they're trying to do, then you're really not going to want to invest in the project. So then, the NFT is divided into 3 levels, and various services can be used depending on the level. Now, here we've got, there's 3 different NFT cards: Sweetheart, Cool Mate, Charming, and Bursting. And at the bottom there, in very small writing, you can see Exchange Super 3% per day, Exchange Super 5% per day, and then 7% per day and X% per day. So these are obviously to increase your points on the system, if you like. So Bursting is the best card, Charming, Cool Mate, and Sweetheart being the more basic. Here we go. Here we've got the way it works down here. The price hasn't been announced, but you can mint 3, 5, 7, and 1 to 5% per day. Minting super likes, you have 100 super likes, and you can mint daily like this. So the volume of super likes, the exchange rate, the daily mintable rate, and the mintable USD. So you can actually make USD every day from using this. And there is your staking rewards. You can only change from exchange mode to staking mode once per day. You can collapse normal NFT and Bursting for maximized staking rates up to 12%. So they've kind of gamified the project. They've turned it into a bit of a game, which, as far as dating is concerned, I much prefer dating apps to be gamified than, some of the more serious apps that are out there. Okay, Bursting NFT. Let's have a look at these. When you own at least all 3 NFTs, you can burn it and mine a random Bursting NFT. So you can own the first 3, you can mine it, and you can then mint a random one. There is your success rate. That's your ability to mine it and earn it, just keeping an eye on time. Conditions for mining it are there. Then you have membership. In order to break the unreasonable structure of charging each action like the existing blind date apps, the platform is structured. The service can be used in monthly units. You can sign up for membership by using LCI tokens you have for each service level, and it was developed to utilize related services. So they are going down the route of having different solutions for men and women. You have the basic, plus, gold, and platinum for the females, with what you can do under each. You can send a message, you can super like, you can spotlight, all of those things, and then you have the male as well, and they are limited to 3 and 5 times, whereas the ladies get 10, 15, and 20 times. And to be fair, how else would you do it? When you have 5 times as many men looking for women as you have women looking for men, then you need to do this. We had this same problem on our site. The majority of our dating sites had 10 to 15% women. In this case, I think it's 15% women. So if you've got 5 or 6 men on your platform for every 1 woman, then that 1 woman is going to be inundated with messages. whether they like it or not. That's just how it works. So by reducing the amount that a man can send messages by 80-90% and boosting what women can send by that 80-90%, what you're doing is you're trying to balance out the way that this works for individuals. So they've done this in the right way. Utility then, user uses LCI on the platform and on the exchange. In order to use the services provided by the platform, they can purchase the tokens directly from the LoveChain platform or through an exchange where LCI tokens are listed, such as GateIO. You then use that on the platform. You are also compensated on the platform as well. Do not forget. Users participating in the ecosystem will receive LCI tokens or NFTs as a reward through missions prepared by the LoveChain Foundation. So again, you can get paid. Here we go, token information. This is what we really want to see. So we've already said that the token is based on the smart chain. There are 1 billion tokens in issuance. We've got the token address. We can go and have a look at it in a minute. The symbol is LCI. It is a utility and it has 8 decimal points. So it will actually go even deeper down than that. Let's have a look. I hope Kishan and Chris and everybody watching is paying attention, because this could be the very future of your dating. Now then, the distribution, as we've gone through, we'll go through it again. 5% for advisors, 10% sale, 22% for the team, 5% in reserve, 30% love to earn, and 28% marketing and ecosystem. And as I've said, I just want to point out, when you look at a token of any description, whether it be LoveChain or anything else, there are some very important things you need to look at. Number one, who is getting the tokens? This is super important. It's more important than how many tokens there are, okay? Who is getting what? The second most important element of a project like this is, when are those people going to get their hands on the token? Are they going to dump the tokens on you on day one? Are you going to buy 100 tokens on day one and lose 50% of the value within the first few days because the founders are dumping their tokens? So who gets what and when do they get them? They are the first two important questions. Everything else to do with emissions of tokens and where the tokens are going to be listed and the liquidity of the tokens, all of those things don't matter as much as who gets what at the beginning. Now, in this instance, as I said at the start of the show, it's really important to see what the ratio is. So the founders, the advisors, should we call them, and the team are getting what? 27%. So they're getting a quarter of the tokens. That means nearly 73% of the tokens are going to non-participating members. They are going to the reserve. They are going to the Love to Earn program. A third of the tokens are going to the Love to Earn program. And over 25% is going to the marketing and ecosystem. So this is the kind of breakdown you want to see from a project. And again, I'm going to be honest, if I saw a project where 60% of the tokens were the team, the founders, and the early VCs, I'd be more worried about that type of token than this type of token. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a really good split. And if I was making a project, my aim would be to have less than 40% for the team and the founders, because that gives people buying the tokens confidence that they're not going to get rugged on day one. Now, hopefully down here, it's going to have the cliffs for us, which it doesn't, but it's fine because we've got the cliffs on here. If you remember, we read them out. So, for example, the team, 20% unlocks at the token generation event. There is a 10-month cliff, and then it's vested for 44 months. 44 months is just under 4 years for the team. The advisors, they get 5% only. Then there is a cliff of 4 months and then vested for 8 months. So again, these are very long-term cliffs, very long-term vestings, and that's a good thing for the project. You really don't want the project to be giving the tokens out on day one. Then finally, we have a roadmap, which is not listed on here, but we're going to go through it. So the LoveChain platform aims to build and provide various service platforms, including the dating platform LoveChain, with the goal of love to earn mining in all daily life. So Q2 2024, establish the project concept, establish the ecosystem. Q3, we are coming to the end of that now. Create the policy, build the platform and the token development. Q4, which is October, November, December, the token development is completed. And as we know, the token is going to be live on GateIO, probably within the next 2 weeks. Next year then, full version global launch V1, start of listing on the LCI Global Exchange, start LoveChain global marketing and build the community. Q2, launching the LoveChain official global, spelling mistake in there. Q3 2025, launching the LCI, copied again, and spelling mistake in there. So a couple of spelling mistakes in there. I'm not going to hold that against them, but it's a fairly reasonable roadmap. And again, we don't need to read the disclaimer. So that is the white paper in a nutshell. And now you know the ins and outs of the entire project. You know the tokenomics, you know the roadmap, you know what the project is trying to do. Now we go on a little bit of a deep dive into the token itself. First of all, CoinMarketCap doesn't contain an awful lot of information about it. However, it does clarify that it's on the Binance Smart Chain with the contract address. The max supply we already know is 1 billion. There is 74 million in circulation right now. And there are links to the website, the white paper and everything else down there, which we've already been through. So what we're going to do now is go and have a look at the contract. Now, we don't normally look at the contract, but the contract is tied into looking at DEX tools as well. So we're going to go and have a look at that in a minute. Now, what is so important about the contract? The breakdown of the tokens. So we can see there's 1 billion tokens. There's already 10,000 holders of the token. Again, this isn't anything to worry about because it's not super live right now. It's out there, but the listing on the centralized exchanges is where it really matters. So there's your token holders. We can scroll down here. So we can see that the majority of the tokens, still 75% of the tokens are held by the top 3 or 4 wallets. Again, not concerning me about that, but it shows you that it does exist. You can see it on the chain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to DEX tools. How long do we have left? 20 minutes, right? Okay, perfect. Don't want to run out of time. Always try and keep these types of streams to an hour because I understand they are quite in depth. Now, this is the LoveChain token, as far as I'm aware. And again, let's not look too much into the price. It isn't live. We've got the left-hand side, we've got the breakdown there, got the market cap. This probably isn't as up to date as you would expect. If you see there, the 4th of September, it went live at midnight. That is literally a few days ago. So we're not going to look too much on this, and this hasn't been updated. So that's the DEXT side. But just to show you that once the token contract is there, in fact, if I copy this, let's have a quick check. I don't know if you can search in here. There we go. Okay, no pairs found. Right, what we're going to do then, we're going to move on to look at their socials. Because I don't want to look, I think it would be very unfair of me to look at the project on there, given that it is so brand new. I did put the links together before the show, but I didn't look at them. And I think it'd be unfair to look at a DEXT score of 1 out of 99 when the project isn't live. So we're not going to do that. So what we will do in the last 20 minutes of the show is we're going to go through their socials. We're then going to go back and go through the startup, and then I'm going to answer any questions that you may have in chat. So feel free to ask anything you want, because that is going to help me understand. If you don't know something about the project, then I will certainly help you out with that. So let's go through the socials. The Love Chain, a Web3 dating app platform, aims to build and provide various service platforms. Then you have the fact 127,000 followers over here on Twitter. How do I buy? I'll go through that in a minute, Velvet, so you can see. So down here, this is the pinned post. Today's hot new coin list. You've got MAC, BYIN, CEC, LCI, ISLM, and MIRX. We know what that list is because we've just seen that list on GateIO. Now, quick pause in the stream. If you are watching this and you are watching it on a particular platform, if you go to the description, you will see that there is a link to GateIO. If you click on that and register, you will be able to take part in this startup. Now, this startup, depending on the amount of crypto you have in your wallet, you will get some of these tokens for free. So you will be able to earn LCI tokens just by being on GateIO. So whether you're watching this live now or whether you're watching this on catch up, go to GateIO, register, sign up, go to startup. I'm going to take you through it step by step in a minute. You've still got a good 3 days before this project goes live in the startup section. That is more than enough time for you to complete your KYC and get involved. So as you can see, this is the GateIO Web3 startup, which is listed here. There is the list of the tokens. And again, you can see LCI on there. That is in the last 24 hours. That is the top hot new crypto list. So that is what they're looking at. And then down here is the breakdown of what we've been talking about. The GT holders on GateIO hold no less than 10 GT tokens to share $40,000 in LCI. The more GT holding, the more free airdrops. When does this start? This starts on the 9th of September at 7 AM and runs through to the 11th of September. So it's only live for 2 days. The link to claim is there. That's the same as the link that I have got here. So this is the page it's linking to, excuse me. And there is an article here which we will go and have a look at in a second. And there is the details of the Love Chain airdrop, September the 9th to September the 11th. We are currently on September the 5th. So like I said, you've got 4 days to go and participate in that. Now, scrolling further down, we don't want to highlight too much of these things for obvious reasons. But we're going to come down to here. And like I said, we're going to try and pick out some of the tweets that we like as well, not just the tokens. So not just the token information about GateIO or anything like that. Announcing the development of the Love Chain Web3 kit for our partners. Now our partners can leverage Love Chain's Web3 tech to deliver even more innovative experiences. Let's build the future together. That was only August the 28th. That was 8 days ago. So this is a brand new token. We've made a big decision. A dating app with 5 million users. Join us in shaping, God, that text is terrible, the future. Join us. Don't know why it's so bad. So, oh, they've bought. Okay, they've already taken over another dating app with 5 million users. I mean, that is pretty big business, I suppose. So again, what do I always suggest you do when we do these deep dive videos? The most important thing, other than reading the white paper, is that you give these guys a follow on social media. Give them a follow and keep up to date with what they are up to. Again, love to earn, love to move. Sorry, love to earn, move to earn, click to earn. It's all on the same theme. Again, we've been looking at dogs and cats. We've been looking at Notcoin recently, all on Telegram. They're all clickies. This is a love version of that. So make sure to go and check out their socials. And let's go over here. So the GT Holder exclusive airdrop, GateIO startup, initial free offering, Love Chain, and announcement of free distribution rules, 800,000 LCI, free of charge. The Love Chain LCI will only be available for GT subscriptions. Please be aware that the participation users' funds will not be deducted at the end of the subscription. And there is the breakdown of what we have just been talking about. They've got a link to their website, a link to the white paper, a link to the smart contract, the duration, what you need to hold. So you basically need to have 10 GT token to be able to participate in this. And it's got all of the details down there. So again, with every token that's listed on GateIO, you get a one-pager like this. You've seen them on other exchanges as well. It gives you all the information you need to know. So that is all we need to read from there. Right, very quickly, let's go down here one more time. Keep going. Keep going. I want to get back past here. So, Love Chain, Love Nest, and Heartwave are joining forces to revolutionize the dating experience. Stay tuned for more updates as we work together to bring you something special. So, again, one of the reasons that you would follow Love Chain on social media is to get the lowdown on what they are talking about. They are doing. Again, why are these graphics? These graphics need to be more readily available. It should have been on their website so you could actually break it down. The latest distribution of our token, again, is generated with AI, but you've got community awards, token, again, not a big fan. But I think this information, the graphics certainly should be available in more places. And again, the graphics are nice. They've got different partnerships on here. They've got the app. I mean, you give them a follow on social media. That is what I would do. Now, that is probably enough from the social media side of things. How long do we have left? 12 minutes. Not too bad. I am going to get to the questions that you've asked me, by the way. I've had some questions on one platform and I've had a question on another platform. I am going to get to them at the end. But what I'm also going to do is very quickly go back through how you get to this project and how you sign up for it. So the first thing you need to do is join GateIO. The link is down below. The next thing you need to do is you need to go to the startup section on GateIO and you'll see 3 sections. There's actually 4 different ways now to get your hands on tokens. There's the startup mining, startup tasks, and they've also got the pre-mint. Pre-mint is also now live. Now, what we're interested in this stream is to go to the startup section. And under here, one of the benefits of being on GateIO is the tokens that you get as basically for rewarding your loyalty. And what I mean by that is, if you hold, I think it's $10 or $15 of tokens on the exchange, then you can enter the prize draw for pretty much every startup. Okay, you might not win every time, but you can enter. If you become a VIP 1 or a VIP 2, then you can enter the other projects. But not a better way, but a different way of doing it is to go and buy 10 GT tokens, okay, GateIO tokens. Go and buy them because some of these token launches require you to hold a minimum of 10 GT. The more you hold, the more you will earn. Now, that is what's happening in this case. So as you can see on the screen in front of you, you have Counterfire, which is going live in a day and 18 hours. LCI, the one we're going to look at in a minute, is going live in just under 4 days. That is a GT holders exclusive. Now, that means that this is only available to people holding GT tokens. The one above is open to all. The HAQQ is an airdrop open to all. Gigs is GT holders. Supra or SuperDAP is GT holders. Buy-in is GT holders. So best advice really, excuse me, went the wrong way. The best advice really is to go and get yourself 10 GT tokens. Now you can earn from more than just holding them, by the way. So as well as this section here, you also have startup mining. Now you will see on here that you can stake your tokens, your GT tokens, and earn Bebe. You can stake them and earn MAC for 7 days. So you're able to stake your tokens and earn MAC. So holding the GT tokens, you can earn multiple ways simultaneously. So by holding them, you can enter every single startup airdrop there is. But also, while that's happening, every week, every 5 days, you can go to startup mining and you can stake your GT tokens. Now, I think I have already staked mine. Oh no, I'm going to be staking mine on this one here. This goes live in an hour and 8 minutes. I'm going to be staking my GT tokens on this pool here, which is Metascene. Excuse me. This is the one I'm going to be doing in an hour. I was staking on, was it Order? I think I was staking on, or Toshi. Sorry, I was staking on Toshi. So that's the one I was using before. That one's expired. I'm now going to be staking on that. So hold your tokens, go to stake startup mining, put them in there, and away you go. Now the one we're interested in is this one. I'm going to run out of time. I'm talking too much. I'm going to very quickly go through this again, and then I'm going to give you my conclusion at the end. We've got 8 minutes left, so we should have sufficient time. In 4 days' time, where it says notify me for free airdrops, that will become a button that will say something along the line of hold GT to enter. In some instances, it will say claim for free. You click on that button and you will subscribe to that airdrop. So this isn't automated. You have to log in every day or every other day to take part in these airdrops like LoveChain. So in the instance of LoveChain, in 3 days and 18 hours, you'll come back here, you'll click that button, and if you're holding 10 GT, you'll be able to claim some shares of that. In other instances, it just says $0 claim for free. Click on that and you'll also be subscribed. So you have to manually come in here and subscribe. It is not automated. That is really important to know, because I've had a bit of feedback from people saying, why haven't I had my airdrop of token X or token Y? I have said to them, did you go and subscribe? No, I just thought it was automated. That's not how it works. You've got to physically go in there, physically click on that button to take part in every single one. The same with startup mining. When startup mining expires, the GT will go back to your spot account. You then need to manually go and subscribe to whichever one is available to you. Okay, it's not automated. You have to physically log in and take part. And in all honesty, that's how it should work anyway. Right then, so a few quick things that I need to make you aware of. The risk warning. The startup project is still in its initial phase. Factors, including the operation and underlying tech of the project and other related regulatory activities, might contribute to significant risks. Advanced technical and financial knowledge is required to understand and evaluate the inherent risk of crypto asset investment. The volatility of the market is high and the price of token might fluctuate drastically due to technical, regulatory and marketing factors. Users may not be able to withdraw all the purchased tokens due to technical issues of the project or GateIO. So that's your risk warning. Now, the reason for making these kinds of videos is to try and help you to make a more educated decision on buying this token, rather than just going and seeing it and buying $50 or $100. Going through the white paper, going through the token, going through the website, it gives you a feel of the project. We've looked at the tokenomics. We've also looked at the breakdown of the roadmap. It should all make sense. Now then, a few quick things about the project. So we know, as we've said, it is a blockchain-based dating app offering LCI token payments, NFT purchases with rewards, staking and mining features. That's what we've just covered today. And Mr. Van, I don't want to say his first or middle name because I'm probably going to get it wrong, but Mr. Van is the CEO of LoveChain and has over 10 years experience in blockchain and IT. With an MBA and expertise in enterprise solutions, he leads LoveChain in integrating blockchain for secure, innovative dating experiences. And there is the initial information for the startup. So again, if there are, for example, 1,000 people who enter the startup and they've all got 10 GT each, those 1,000 people will get 800 LCI each. That's how it works. If one person comes in and they've got 800,000 LCI tokens and nobody else enters, they'll get all of the LCI tokens. So it's divided by the number of people and the number of GT tokens they hold. So if you enter with 10 and somebody enters with 100, they are more than likely going to get 10 times the amount of LCI tokens that you get. It's pretty simple mathematics. We've covered this off. The allocation we've covered off again very quickly. The advisor gets 5, the sale gets 10, the team gets 22 with a cliff, the reserve has 5, Love to Earn gets 30, and the marketing and ecosystem gets 28. So I think what I'm going to do now, I've got 3 minutes left. I've run out of time. We've been through that twice. I'm going to bring up their website and I'm going to very quickly tell you what I think of this project. And again, I am always going to be honest because that is what I do. So first of all, this token airdrop to you should be free, so you don't have to pay any money for it. In my opinion, it falls into the category. You've got two types of crypto projects at the minute. You've got ones that are delivering and ones that are based on speculation. They are unproven. They haven't proved themselves yet. Now, we've gone through the white paper. We've seen that this doesn't really go live until Q1 or Q2 next year. So my advice is simple. This is not a token that I'm going to be buying until Q1 or Q2 next year. The reason being is it is highly speculative. What they're trying to do makes perfect sense. They are building a blockchain for you to build a dating app on. It makes perfect sense. We've seen that they've bought another dating app with 5 million people on it. That's really bullish news. But until the app is live, until the app is being used, until we see how the NFT works, it's very highly speculative. Now, just to put it into context, if I was to say Ondo or Brett, which of the two is this more like? It is more like Brett. Brett is highly risky, highly volatile, and less of a surefire win. Ondo is a clear winner. So as far as this project is concerned, it is probably 90% speculation, 10% deliverable. But in their defense, they have launched the app. They have launched their blockchain. They have bought out an existing dating app with 5 million people on it. So that's a bullish sign. Their tokenomics make perfect sense. The way that the split has been done makes perfect sense. I think that this is a project that if you get a free allocation of, maybe you should hold on to that free allocation. I wouldn't be adding this to any one of my portfolios. I'm being honest, that's what I'm paid to do. However, just because I'm not going to buy this token today doesn't mean I'm not going to buy this token in 6 months' time. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So 8 months' time, we should be coming towards the first all-time high for Bitcoin. This should be doing good business. The apps should be live on the Android store, should be live on the iOS store, the Apple store, and then we can actually see how well it's going to do. Remember, they're doing 2 launches. They're doing a global launch of the app as well as the normal launch of the app. So again, you have to look at these projects with an air of caution. I am not going to sit here and tell you that you should go and buy this. I don't think you should. Conversely, if you get an airdrop, you hold on to it and you see where it goes. That's the beauty of GateIO startup. I could sit here, as I have done in the past, and told you to sell the tokens on day 1. Okay? I have looked at other projects and said this is a token that I'm going to be looking at buying. This isn't either of those. I wouldn't sell it on day 1 and I wouldn't buy it on day 1. I would simply hold the allocation that you get from this startup and at least give it until April or May next year. What's going to happen in April or May next year when the app goes live and the buzz about the app starts to come out? If you're following them on social media, if you're following them on X in particular, go and join their Telegram group. You're going to see how the project is developing, okay? Then that becomes your decision whether to top up or whether to wait for maximum FOMO and sell your tokens. But this falls in the middle. I am neither going to buy any more, nor am I going to sell it. I am going to hold the allocation that I am given. And that's, I don't know, I don't want to rate the project. I think in terms of potential, it's an 8 out of 10. In terms of what's been delivered so far, it's a 1 out of 10. So it has the potential to be an 8 out of 10, but it's currently a 1 out of 10. Everything about the project looks fine on paper, but I want to see the app live. I want to see people using the app. I want to see it adopted. I want to see how the NFT works. I want to play with the app, and I'm not going to be able to do that until next year. So as I said, I'm going to hang fire. I'm going to hold on to the tokens, and then I'm going to make my decision in March, April, May next year. Now, thank you. I have been asked questions, by the way. I have a couple of questions in chat. I know I'm overrunning a little bit. How do I buy? You will be able to buy the token probably from about the 12th of September onwards. So a week today, you are more than likely going to be able to buy the token. That is what you can do. The other question is, how do you get into the startup? You need to go to the link on the YouTube stream that you're watching now. You need to click the link that says Join GateIO. You need to do your KYC. You need to buy 10 GT tokens. You need to then go to the startup page and click subscribe. You've got 4 days to do that. 4 days to take part in the Love Chain airdrop. With all that being said, a huge thank you to Chris, Velvet Rope, Kishan, Mags is here, or Mags was here, should I say. Thank you all for coming. Greatly appreciated. I am going to head off now. Remember, we're back tonight in 7 hours' time for another stream. I am done for the day. I'm going to go and have a nice lie down and a glass of water. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to Chris. Thank you for all the support you guys give us. I will see you all in the morning, and Brogan will see you all tonight. Take care, everybody.